Systemic thinking, the way to superconsciousness. Okay, there are some other methods to receive to the holistic mind and then to receive to the superconsciousness or superconscious mind. As you see, the patience, the forgiveness, and the sacrifice or selfless. These characteristics are proposed by Dr. Viktor Frankl, a psychologist, in his book Man's Search for Meaning. That this book was written in 1946. He was detained for 6 years in the prison of the Nazis, and he was received to this truth that these characteristics leads to creating one huge meaning in the life. And in my opinion, this huge meaning can be similar to the structure of superconscious mind. And what's the patience? To tolerate difficult conditions in order to receive to the better situation. And basic this ideology, we can say that there is convenience after every difficulty, or there are conveniences after difficulties. With using this characteristic, we can approach to the systemic thinking, and using systemic thinking, we can approach the superconscious mind. With using the patience in our life, I can say we can break many invisible boundaries, and then the patience can help us to eliminate many mental constraints, or especially invisible mental constraints in our life. And we can improve the mental models so that we can access to the better solution in our life. And consequently, I can say patience can fortificate the systemic thinking. And the forgiveness. If you can forgive every phenomenon in your life, you can expand your mind from component-oriented mind to the holistic mind. And what is the advantage of the forgiveness in the life? I must give you an example. You may envisage to the natural disasters of catastrophes similar to earthquake, flood, tornado, hurricane, a fire. What will you do? Do you revenge from existence or nature? Yes, you forgive all things. We are coerced to accept everything after this natural disasters and the many problems after this. For example, house damage, loss of property, and loss of our wealth. And we should accept this. But if the person molests us or annoys us or molests us, sometimes we want to revenge him or her. Or in the best position, we will forgive him or her. But in the state of revengeness, the component oriented is active and it doesn't let us give up this situation. This is truth that to be molested by human is not worse than envisaging to the catastrophes similar to earthquake, flood, and other natural disasters that I said. So we can forgive every phenomenon originated from natural disaster or human. These are not different from each other. Also, using this characteristic, we can identify the invisible boundaries and break these, and then we can remove the invisible mental constraints and improve the mental models in order to fortify the systemic thinking. And the sacrifice. What is the sacrifice? Or selfless. As you see, the meaning is vivid and exactly. Not considering myself to receive to the better condition or better situation. In fact, by using this characteristic, I ignore self or ego. Self equals to the ego in order to achieve the better objective and better structure in future. In the first place, Dr. Frankel described these characteristics in his book, and then he proposed and recommended this characteristic, using these characteristics to his patients in order to receive the huge meaningful, so that he can help the patients to give up the future and the past, psychological future and psychological past. And he helped to the patients to live in present time or presence, the characteristic that I said previously. As you see, the objective of content of this book was written by Frankel, and the books of Tolle, Power of Now, are similar to each other. Giving up role, past and future, psychological past and psychological future, and living in the present. As I said, using this characteristic, and by using this characteristic, you can ignore self or ego in order to remove the invisible constraints of the mind or mental constraints, and you can receive or move from component-oriented mind to the holistic mind, and then you can approach to the superconscious mind. In all these characteristics, the ego is ignored. For example, in the patients, the ego is not important. In the forgiveness, you don't pay attention to the ego. You pay attention to others, other phenomena. And in the sacrifice, uh, exactly, you are ignoring the self. This is selfless. You are sometimes you are ignoring the ego. Infinity.